So what anti-aging is, so basically what I say is that up until certain point in human history, aging was considered very natural. This is something you gotta do. This is something that is super, it has to be accepted. It has to be aligned with. However, now as we are progressing in our understanding of existence and human consciousness and how important and how what a miracle human consciousness is, it is becoming evident to us with time and knowledge of science and medicine that aging is a disease. And that is why when we say anti-aging, we are preventing aging in your system. Hello, and this is Dr. Din at your service. I am going to be talking about one of my most favorite medications of all time, and this is an anti-aging medication. Basically, anti-aging is a responsibility as far as I'm concerned. Aging itself for a human body may have been known to humans as something normal, something that has to be expected. But actually, aging is a disease. Aging may have been known to humans as something that happens naturally. Everybody has to go through it, and once you have gone through it enough, and as you have gone deeper into time and life, at some point your organs and your system disintegrates because of gravity, because of space and time interactions and elements that are within you and outside of you. And a lot of dis-ease happens as you go deeper into time. And all that dis-ease is caused by mostly aging. And certain organs of humans age faster than the others. Certain organs are a little more protected. For example, our brains are usually a little more protected under a hard skeletal, covering. So the brain age is usually at the end, because the most important part for the reason that humans exist, we exist for our brains. You are your brain, kind of. So what anti-aging is, so basically what I say is that up until certain point in human history, aging was considered very natural. This is something you gotta do. This is something that is super, it has to be accepted. It has to be aligned with. However, now as we are progressing in our understanding of existence and human consciousness and how important and how what a miracle human consciousness is, it is becoming evident to us with time and knowledge of science and medicine that aging is a disease. And that is why when we say anti-aging, we are preventing aging in your system. So at a certain point in time, after you're born, you start growing, and at a certain point in time, you reach your peak of your body's capacity to reveal itself. And then that peak version of yourself is something that you need to continue to stay attached to, because your versions of self unlock codes within you that are meant to express you, and that are the holders of your DNA. Your DNA is nothing but an ancestral message that is sent forth through time. So protecting that message within you is it's a very, very important responsibility. And that is one of the reasons that I am a practitioner of, not only a practitioner of anti-aging. So anti-aging now, in today's terms, it is known as longevity medicine. It has rebranded itself as longevity medicine. Listen, guys, I missed you. I don't know if anybody missed me, but I missed you guys. I was on vacation, and I went to London, and then I went to Rome, and Rome was amazing. Oh my God. It was the first time I was in Rome. It was their Jubilee year, and there was a new Pope Leo, and there were millions of pilgrims. Rome is to Catholics what Mecca may be to Muslims. So this pilgrimage was going on at the Vatican, and it was just mind-blowingly beautiful. It was soul satisfying. And I went into the Sistine Chapel, and it was quite an experience. And I have so much footage. I took so many pictures and so many videos that, it will take me a month to unroll all my different camera rolls. So whenever I get a chance in between running around with clients and work and family, I sit and I basically relive the moments that I've lived. So I for the first time, I understood the meaning of what, like, Rome was not built in a day means. Because every step that you take, you are just walking on history. And you just realize that some of the greatest names, from gods to prophets to saints, have existed here, have walked these roads, and all roads led to Rome. So I went to not only Vatican, but also the oldest ever church in a temple in on this planet, which was the Pantheon. So I went to the Pantheon, and everywhere you go, you find a halo. So I made like this reel of all the pictures I took with a halo appearing around me. So halo was very important. So one of my reels you might find, it's called Halo from Rome. So anyway, that's what's new with me. So it's like, I don't know if you guys missed me, but I missed everybody while I was running around in between temples. And then art itself is a religion, all in itself. So there were so many sculptures, there were so many amazing classic paintings, and it was like completely an education at a spiritual, emotional, physical level, because it was physically, it could be very taxing. Anyway, what was your favorite food in Rome? Pizza. I had the best pizza in Rome. So and one thing that I couldn't get over was, like, nobody has hot sauce there. They're like, are you from Mexico? Are you Spanish? Why are you asking for hot sauce? It's like, listen, I like hot sauce with my pizza. I'm a spicy person. Anyway, so tell us more about your new article. So I wrote recently an article. This is before I had left for Rome. So this article is about my favorite anti-aging medication, which is also the fastest acting anti-aging medication in the world known to humans. And we may be the first humans who have this deeper understanding of this medication, this element, because we have experience of having used it. And this was not available to our predecessors. So a lot of people have missed that boat. Again, this is a medication that is injected inside your skin, and it is a neuromodulator. And not only so basically how it acts on your skin, so it basically anti-ages your skin. So we place it in certain visible parts of your face, and those areas that it is placed in basically experience anti-aging. So it's FDA approved in United States for several different kinds of issues. However, its mechanism of action is by relaxing the muscles. And as it relaxes the muscles of the body, it somehow also repairs the flow of blood, the flow of lymph, and your lymphatics, and that helps the skin restore its original glory. And the mechanism of this action lasts in the skin for 3 to 4 months. Sometimes, get older, and after that, it has to be repeated. Mostly insurances cover this medication if you have some of the dis-ease that requires these kind of injections. For instance, if somebody has migraine headaches, Botox is one of the safest, fastest medication that will relieve you of terrible migraine headaches. However, insurance does not cover this if you're using it for longevity of your skin purposes, because longevity or skin treatments which reverse your skin's age are considered cosmetic. So anything that is cosmetic or that is something just proactive for health and wellness is not covered by your insurance, because this is something that I always try to make my clients understand, that your insurance, your health insurance, is like your car insurance. Just like your car insurance gets activated when you get into an accident or something bad happens or something. Similarly, your health insurance also gets activated when you get into some kind of a disease. And disease or dis-ease is covered, and that's when your insurances figure out what is the cheapest way to get you to get over that disease. But Botox is like a little higher end treatment because it is expensive medication. So many insurances don't cover it unless you have like some really good coverage. So I was talking about the use of Botox medication for purposes of longevity, for purposes beyond vanity. And one of my pet peeves about Botox is that if used in minute doses, this is something that can extend the life of skin, your visible skin, especially skin on your face, which is a marker which holds the keys to your identity. You are, people recognize you through your features. You yourself identify yourself via your features, and you get attached to certain versions of yourself. Mostly we experience the peak versions of self during our 30s and 40s, and those are the versions that people remember most, because that's where their brain is developed and matured, and they have experience, so they can see. So the identity that you have, the version that you have around that time, sometimes is something that can be best preserved with the use of these longevity medications. And so that was my topic of conversation, and please read it. I hope you'll be able to find it by, I guess my staff is going to link it in this live, and it is available also on my website. So please go ahead and read it. It was published in Hollywood Life. And even though I am in New York, but I wanted to, speak to people everywhere, because I know when people use this medication for cosmetic purposes, I get it. Like, it can extend, like, what is the value of you extending your version of self for an extra decade or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or infinite? What is the value that you attach to it? So if there is value that you attach to it, it is worth pursuing. So And for anti-aging of your skin, of your visible skin, of features that identify you as you as that unique representative of hundreds of people who came in, who joined their DNA to make you a reality today. Though that, that version is worthy of protection, that is worthy of extension. And what I say is that, if we look beyond just the cosmetic and appearance, we dig a little deeper, we also realize that your skin cells are the true holders of your consciousness. And as you stop recognizing yourself, your brain kind of disintegrates. That's when old age happened. A lot of very, very people who age very quickly, or they lose their versions of self to a point where they fail to recognize themselves. And that's where, dementia happens. That's where decline in functionality happens, because the matrix of your life will eject you. And especially after menopause happens in women or andropause happens in men, your covenant for this life with God or whoever is whatever is the reason that you exist, is over. And basically your purpose is over, and at that point you can be ejected. So menopause or a pause is created in your system to eject you from the matrix of life, so that you can create space, can be created for the future generations. However, menopause now can be redefined, and we are trying our best to redefine our aging systems. And these medication, especially something so simple as Botox, which has been now used by millions of people for decades, and we know how it works and how long it works and from where to get the best toxins. And there are so many new toxins that are, every day being created, because we understand what needs to be done. So these medications are, worthy of your trying. And, just as people spend time and money and in preparation or in taking care of their diseases, I think health and wellness medications also exist, and they need to be pursued proactively. They need to be pursued when you don't need them, because that's when you will use the least amount, and that is what will just preserve you for the longest period of time. So, spreading this message, thank you for helping me spread this message. This is Dr. Den. For those who are joining me for the first time, I am a board certified family medical doctor. I'm a retired geriatrician. I have been working in the realm of longevity medicine for the past 12 years. And, please follow me. This is what we talk about. We don't just talk about just Botox, although it is one of my favorite topics, but we also talk about all the other energy devices that and many of the other medications that are currently FDA approved or FDA cleared, which ones work for what age group, and which ones don't work, and at what point your skin has completely failed, and at what point should you go and meet a surgeon who can resect the failed parts of your skin. So again, people ask me all the time that what is a good time when you should be doing some of these minimally invasive longevity medication or devices, and at what point should I go and seek surgery. So your skin is an organ, and your skin, as you go through time and gravity and hormonal dysfunction, is constantly expanding. Your skin, as it expands, because you're going through everything, so it expands. And sometimes if you're a female, you've expanded and contracted several times while you were in the process of giving birth. So this expansion and contraction can have consequences for the health of your skin and the longevity of your skin. And not only these things happen slowly, sometimes during certain phases of your life, these changes occur very quickly. So, what I like to say is that chronic skin failure is something that is happening chronically after you have achieved complete growth and into that organ. So, usually for women, I feel that around like around 37, 38, they are peaking, and after that their slow decline starts to happen. So chronic skin failure usually accelerates during perimenopausal and menopausal stages of life. So when your skin has failed enough, where routine non-surgical energy devices or these medications won't work, that's when you may want to go and consider and start meeting a surgeon who will resect the areas that have fallen apart. Because remember, when your skin fails, it falls. And there are certain things that also are happening inside you that are leading to your this organ failing. So either you're going to proactively prevent and fight that chronic skin failure, or you will every 10 years go and then resect the failed parts. The problem with constantly going every 10 years to get a deep plane lift or half a facelift is that at some point after a bunch of these surgeries you'll start looking a little weird and off, and your features might change and people may not be able to recognize you. And I'm not saying that everybody can that surgery is I don't believe in doing constant surgeries, or going to a surgery as the first line of defense, or to treat chronic skin failure, because chronic skin failure is chronic. So even if today, for instance, Kris Jenner went and did this amazing surgery by this some New York City fancy cosmetic surgeon who charges between $100,000 to $300,000 for a deep plane lift. So yes, if even if you got like this perfectly beautiful surgery that is looking so amazing, to prevent the further surgeries in future, you'll still need to do many of these routine medications and energy device treatments to just maintain that result. Otherwise, within a few years, you will see that you'll again start sagging, because guess what? Your skin is going to continue to expand. Your surgery is not going to prevent the chronic skin failure that's going to start happening. Because remember, time is going, it's a continuum. You're going forward. Nobody's going backwards. So anti-aging is where we're taking your skin backwards. And Botox is just that one ingredient that is one of the simplest elements that you can do to prevent the disintegration, the premature disintegration through time. There are other medications too. So anti-aging is not something that you just do with just one element. It's like a dish that you have to create for yourself. And every person needs some medications that are these injectables, some energy devices, because we want to put in some frequencies, some, we recommend intravenous infusions, which are very important for your skin, for the health of your skin and hair. And now we know that as you are getting into the pauses of your life, you also need to replace the hormones that are no longer being manufactured inside of you as they were when generated when you were younger. What are the early warning signs that skin is starting to fail? So listen, early warning signs are wrinkles that do not disappear with you resting and applying some hydration and moisture. So if you so your skin is like a fabric. So one of the earliest signs of your skin disintegrating are basically crinkles that you can see in certain parts of your face, or volume loss. Sometimes earliest sign of skin failure is hair loss. If you see that hair loss is happening, because remember, hair is just an extension of your skin. It's another kind of skin. And men go through hair loss sometimes earlier and faster because we put them through a lot more stress. That's my personal hypothesis. How can skincare routines help prevent long-term skin damage or failure in aging skin? So skincare routines, especially when you're very young, one of the best things you can do for your skin is to protect yourself from sun. So people who are constantly on a beach baking, and you have skin that is, that is devoid of melanin, then, and even if you have a lot of pigment, even then, sun it has a toxic relationship with your skin. Just know that. We love it. It's a toxic love affair. Some people have toxic love affair with sun. And that is the reason that, it burns you. It burns you, it hurts you, it disintegrates you, it creates cancer cells inside your skin. And, however, it also brings you great energy because it turns you on. It turns your brain on, it turns your system on, your skin loves it because it's light. So one of the best things you can do for your skin is to avoid sun. And if you can't avoid sun, please apply a lot of sunscreen and also wear a hat. And I wore hats during my vacation. So that will help you with the longevity of your skin. But yes, keep it moist, hydrate also. Hydration is really good. But there are so many other nutrients that we also recommend to people intravenously and then also topically. And remember, you are what you eat. So the stuff that you ingest is gonna show in your skin. What are the biggest myths or misconceptions about Botox? I don't know. There are so many myths about Botox, but remember, Botox is just like a meat tenderizer. It relaxes your muscles so it doesn't scrunch that much. And as your muscle scrunches, it also scrunches your skin. And that constant scrunching basically erodes the inner padding of your skin, creating crinkles that, due to years of crinkling, get etched into your skin. Now, that is not just a cosmetic appearance problem, because it also is a supply and demand issue, because that deep scar-like crinkle that is etched into your head is also disrupting the flow of blood to skin. It is also disrupting the flow of the lymphatic drainage of parts of your skin. So it just creates premature or even aging. Just like if you think that aging is, a disease, this constant scrunching will create aging of the fabric. Listen, when you're young, you can scrunch all you want, and then what's going to happen? You're going to go to sleep and your body is going to repair itself. And then you'll wake up and you're like, oh, nothing is there. Because when you're young, everything will heal itself faster because your blood is fresh, it's young. But when you are old, or when you're going through the menopause, or if you are in super stressful times where your body is constantly spilling cortisol, so at that point, you will go to sleep and your body is not going to repair itself. Okay, guys, do you like my glasses? Okay, one of the questions that I was going to tell people is about my glasses, because why I like these glasses, because they do not sit on my face. They do not sit on my tear trough. They do not sit on the bridge of my nose. Aside from sun damage, what's the most surprising environmental factor you think might contribute to chronic skin failure? Could it be city living? Yes. Sometimes pollution is a very important problem for skin. However, just know that God created our skin as a barrier. So the top layer of the skin is a barrier. So it doesn't allow anything to get inside. But if you have acne, if you have things and you're working somewhere where the environment, because you're inhaling the environment and the dust and smoke and fumes, it is going to have an impact. But I think one of the other things is most of the damage that we incur upon our skin is usually self-induced. So I would say smoking is terrible for your skin. I would also say alcohol consumption is terrible for your skin. I would also say that you staying up all night or late into the night or staring into your TVs, exposing yourself to the lights and unnatural lights is terrible for your skin. I would also say that the preservative laden foods that are created just to increase your appetite and your cravings for junk food, that is terrible for your skin. So, a lot of things. So, your skin is a combination of what you do to it and what your DNA is capable of manifesting. So, you become like a combination of all the things that happen around you. So, your skin, so that's why skin is such a unique organ. It is not only the largest organ of your body, it is the holder of your consciousness, and what happens to it will have a direct impact on your brain. And why is that? Because your brain cells and your skin cells are soulmates. They are mirrors. Your skin is represented inside your brain, every cell of your skin. And that's why when chronic skin failure happens and we resect your skin, many times when we go and talk to those people, they still don't feel beautiful because their brain cells are not satisfied, because they're like, where is our soulmate cell, which is dead? Somebody took it, chucked it out. So that is one of the hypotheses that we are actively studying, that how your brain and your skin is related, and how the health of your skin, especially of your visible skin, of how you identify as you and how others identify you as you, will is connected with your brain.